Welcome, what is up? Thank you for tuning back into the Chaos Slayer. Of course, I'm Chris Chaos here with what is now going to be, and forevermore until I decide to change it again, just called the 411. The 411 on whatever show it is. Tonight, it's Raw. Today, May the 22nd, 2017, Raw drug a little bit. It's that whole 3 hours, man. It just drags out. You just want it to end. And then when it finally does, you kind of want a little bit more than what you got. They should work on this. Bray Wyatt starts off the show with a fantastic promo. I mean, just a lyrical assassin, if you will, on his mic skills. Phenomenal. I want to say there's nobody better, at least men-wise. The women, well, I'll get to that later as well. Roman Reigns comes out, of course, tons of heat, because everybody hates Roman. Kurt Angle says, hey, let's have a match. You guys want to go? So let's go. So they have the match, right then. I thought it would have been a better main event. Just those two guys. Main event. But they decided to do this now, and I thought, well, let's not bash them just yet for match placement. Because like on Saturday night, I thought, why is the tag titles last, even though, you know, it's a ladder match, shouldn't the NXT title be last? However, NXT TakeOver Chicago goes off the air after the Tommaso Ciampa backstab, if you will, his heel turn on Johnny Gargano. So your last vision was just perfect of Ciampa sitting on the desk and Gargano just lay it out. So you're thinking something, they could be working something for tonight, and of course they do. Samoa Joe comes out, disqualification, Roman Reigns wins, although I don't think that was ever really announced. But I mean, it's kind of obvious. After the commercial, Kurt Angle makes the match, says, okay, well, you guys are going to have a tag match, because Samoa Joe came out, and then Seth Rollins came out, but no Finn Balor. He has other plans for this evening, I guess. And he did. Akira Tozawa quickly defeated Aria Daivari, who I absolutely loved his gimmick. I love his character. I want to see Daivari win the title, eventually. But I want to see them do something special with him. I think that Austin Aries is probably finally going to win the Cruiserweight title in 2 weeks, so maybe that's his first challenger after a rematch with Neville. Who knows? And I hope, if that happens, that they do the rematch like the next 205 Live and they don't wait till the next pay-per-view, because that's just dragging this out. This feud has dragged on way too long. For them to have 3 matches and they all be pay-per-views, the way that they're doing the pay-per-views now, it just feels like it's just taking forever, and it's really not. It's really only, I mean, Extreme Rules is in 2 weeks, but they only really started at WrestleMania, or like a couple of weeks before WrestleMania, so it's not really been that long. It's really only been a little more than 2 months, but it feels like it's been 4 or 5. It just, to me, it does. Dean Ambrose defeats, not quite. The Drifter, defeats Dean Ambrose in his debut by way of disqualification, because, as I called on Twitter, this is exactly how the Drifter needed to beat Dean Ambrose. I thought the Drifter needs to have his first match a win. Didn't really need to come off of Dean Ambrose. You don't need to pin Dean Ambrose. Although, at the distraction, shenanigans, the Miz involved, the Drifter pins him off of the interference, it wouldn't be that big of a deal, and it would set up more for the pay-per-view. But they didn't go that route. Miz jumps in the ring and goes after Elias Sampson. The referee calls a bell. Elias wins. If Dean Ambrose loses by disqualification at Extreme Rules, he loses the title. Nice. Just a little something, and it's nice. Finn Balor comes out, cuts a pretty good promo, just for what it was. Paul Heyman comes out and slices up everybody. Paul Heyman, I will say, cuts a better promo than Bray Wyatt. I give Bray the nod because Bray's there every week and Paul's not. And because Bray's a wrestler and Paul's not. He's just an advocate. I'm just an advocate. I'm the advocate. Priceless. And then Finn beats Carl Anderson, which I don't exactly love. Alicia Fox loses to Sasha Banks in their rubber match. Kalisto beats Apollo Crews out of nowhere, which was because of distraction from the Titus brand. Alexa Bliss, before the Kalisto match, cut a fucking fantastic promo. It's the eyes. The eyes. The eyes tell the story. The window to the soul. But anyway, I digress. It was phenomenal. Matt Hardy beat Sheamus. I said on Twitter that I think this match needs to be a steel cage match at Extreme Rules at the pay-per-view. But it needs to be purely escape. So both members of the team have to escape before a winner can be declared. Now Matt reveals that it will be a steel cage match, and you could tell that he wanted to say, "You will be deleted at Extreme Rules," but he didn't go there. I know a lot of people would. I was gonna pop off of the reaction that he got, not because he said that, but it would have been funny to see. But they didn't clarify how that cage match. I just assumed that it's going to be a regular cage match and there'll be a referee in the ring. The problem is that when you got more than two in a cage, space is kind of limited. The ref, because it's going to be tornado style, I'm assuming. I would really hope that they wouldn't do a regular tag match inside a cage. It needs to be a tornado style, which means it needs to be escape, and I think it needs to be a team escape, not just whoever can escape wins for their team. But that might be what it is. The Hardys are still over, so we'll just anyway. Tony Nese lost to Austin Aries by the last chancery. Neville and Aries back at it. Alexa Bliss defeats Mickie James and goes after her with the kendo stick. Bayley makes a save. Alexa sold this. Alexa sold this so good. She drops the kendo stick. Bayley comes in the ring, grabs the stick, and her eyes, again, it's the eyes that tell the story, got this big and is like, oh my God, she's about to kill me because she's looking me dead in the face. I mean, so you know where she's gonna swing at. Oh my God. Powder. You got to powder. And she did. Perfect. Perfect. I hope that they don't touch next week on Raw. Going into the pay-per-view. I hope they don't touch. But we'll see. And then Bray Wyatt and Samoa Joe defeat Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns. That was Raw. Now, the one thing I will finally talk about, the Goldust vignette. Or pre-tape, if you will. I think it was a pre-tape. Back to the old Goldust. That's what I wanted to see. That's what I've been wanting to see for a long time, just to be honest with you. And, well, we won't mention who he was talking about. Anyway, that's all I've got. Make sure to like this video. Give me a thumbs up. I love those I love thumbs up. Anyway, subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Also, follow me on Twitter if you're not already doing that, at TheAnswerChaos. And leave me a comment. Let me know what you think about Raw. Let's just get a dialogue going on, Extreme Rules. It's close. Why not? So, until then, too sweet to everybody. Deuces. I am out of here because, you know what? I got nothing better to do.